And what we saw is maybe not surprising, but very well relevant, because willingness to pay for beef color decreased with increasing days of retail display and increasing discoloration.
Hello, my folks. Welcome back to the MeatsPad podcast. My name is Francisco Najar, and today I'm happy to sit down with Annika Thies. She is originally from Germany. She was a visiting scholar at Colorado State University. Was it last year?
Last year.
Yeah, last year. Welcome, Annika, to MeatsPad.
Thanks so much. Glad to be here.
I'm really looking forward to this topic. We have a very good insights from her on meat color preferences, and she's going to talk a little bit about her research here in his doctorate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I had the pleasure to come to CSU and work with Mahesh Nair and his team at the Department of Animal Sciences in the course of a postdoc project. And what we did is we conducted a consumer study on meat color, because we really wanted to get more insights with regard to meat color in order to basically develop more targeted marketing measures to then market also brownish or discolored beef products at the U.S. consumer or at the U.S. retail level. Because what we know from recently published literature is that meat waste is a huge problem at the U.S. retail level, and it's related to consumers' decisions to buy or not buy beef products. So our paper is in the course of the publication process. It's under review right now. And some of our major findings were that consumers see and prefer beef color linearly. So what we did was we looked at different days of discoloration or different days of retail display. And we were trying to evaluate consumer preferences in the course of a choice experiment. So consumers were shown different product combinations. With the product we looked at 3 product attributes: meat color, price, and discount. And they had to go through 12 different choice scenarios. And based on these 12 different choice scenarios, we were then able to estimate their willingness to pay for color as well as the different product attributes. And what we saw is maybe not surprising, but very well relevant, because willingness to pay for beef color decreased with increasing days of retail display and increasing discoloration. So we were able to also show, based on our results, that with 7 days of retail display, a beef product, steaks in our case, we might be still able to market these, but with heavy price discounts. And with 9 days of retail display, it's nearly impossible to market these steaks. You actually would have to compensate consumers financially in order for them to pick that steak up at the retail level.
How do you guys determine the discount? Because I know, depending on the store, they do that differently, and they mark it down by day. Even after 12 hours, they start marking it even more. But how do you determine that?
Mm-hmm. So what we basically did, we went to grocery stores and checked out their discount strategies. And we then implemented the sales tag on the products using either no discount on the product, or it would have a 30% off discount label on it. And we would also indicate you're saving so much money when you buy this product that is on discount. So just the way it's shown at the retail level.
And this was primarily on aerobic packaging, like the tray, film?
Yes.
Okay. What muscles do you use?
We'll use strip loins.
Strip loins only?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Excellent. Excellent. I had another question. This was objective or subjective? Like, was it consumers, or you also had panelists? Trained panelists?
No. So what we did together with Mahesh's grad students, we actually did go to supermarkets. We were standing in front of grocery stores interviewing people why they're shopping for beef. So real consumers that make real shopping decisions every day.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I think following up on that, we had a very interesting discussions like this couple of days here at RMC, and we were discussing about some of the differences between I guess the programs between Germany and the U.S. And I guess we can elaborate more a little bit about that, and how's been your experience in the U.S.
So I really much loved my time here at CSU, because what I noticed is that your guys' way of teaching and the education for students is way more applied than back home. So my supervising professor was supervising a small group of students, undergrads and graduate students, and they all already had their own research projects. They were responsible for these projects, and they were not only able to conduct real research, but they were also already writing and publishing their results. And I really, really like that about the concept at CSU, because it's totally different back home. It's way more theoretical. In Germany, for example, we are a much bigger group of students. So when I went to university, I would sit in a classroom with 400 or 500 other students, and was really just the professor giving us a lecture, but we didn't really had any experience with applied science. So I really appreciate that here. We were a small team at the Animal Sciences Department, working closely together with interdisciplinary approaches, and I really appreciated that, and I really learned a lot during my time there.
I think you have a very unique background, because you're currently back home in Germany. You're a research associate. Tell me a little bit about your background right now and your current role.
So I currently work at the Thünen Institute of Market Analysis, and this is the Federal Research Institute advising the Federal Ministry of Food and Agriculture back home in Germany. So whenever the ministry has questions about meat markets, food markets, consumers, different projects, different topics, they will ask us to conduct research for them, and we will then develop policy recommendations. And based on these policy recommendations, the ministry is then developing policies and making decisions.
We had the opportunity to go to the IFA show 2 years ago in Frankfurt, and we got to see some of the meat products available in the market, or the retail level, any shopping center, and I saw a lot of map. Sorry,
packaging?
I saw a lot of map packaging, and I was telling you, like, that's one of the I guess trends, but not only in Europe. You see it in some places in Peru, Colombia, and South America. You see it in Canada. It's getting a more prominent type of packaging because of that. The shelf life, and I guess we can talk a little bit about some of those differences in between meat products, some of those trends that you're seeing here in the U.S. and you don't see maybe in Germany, and vice versa.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting, because as you already said, at home you'll see a lot of map packaging, but you'll also see vacuum packaged products, especially with regard to imported meat products. So from Australia, from Ireland, whenever we import these products, they would be vacuum packaged. And consumers seem to be not very much concerned back home, so they're buying it. But this is not something we're seeing here in the US. Although we know that vacuum packaging is beneficial when it comes to product quality, especially in beef, it's not that dominant on the market yet. But I heard here these days at the conference that vacuum packaging is something that they're trying to increase also in beef more and more. But that would definitely be an interesting topic for follow-up research projects, because the studies we have when it comes to consumer preferences and packaging are quite old. And it would just be very interesting to have more recent results on that. In Europe, and especially in Germany, we also see a lot of sustainability marketing efforts with regard to packaging. So, for example, a package could have a claim on it saying this package was produced using 70% less plastic than another packaging option. And consumers are recognizing that, and most likely are also willing to spend or have a higher willingness to pay for these products. And that would really be something interesting also to look at for the US markets and see if consumers are perceiving that as a product differentiation strategy.
Following up on the cultural change or cultural differences between, I mean, at the universal level, what do you think about the industry? I guess you got to see, this is your first or second RMC? Second RMC. How in a room you find people from the government, you find people from the industry, you find people from the academia, and it's a very well-rounded audience. How's that really? Is that similar to what you see in Germany?
When my experiences from German conferences are that they're more focused on the scientific community, really. And there would not be that much exchange between industry and the scientific world. So I think that's something really unique here, I would say, and also very beneficial in many ways. So it's just great that so many stakeholders are coming together and discuss topics that are relevant.
No, thank you very much for your time. I think it was fantastic having you here. Talk a little bit about your research, and it's good for also the other grad students and all the students to get to know that. I mean, there's the opportunity to study abroad. I mean, it's there, right? I mean, I know each university has some partnerships on agreements with other universities and even a semester abroad. And I know it's difficult when you on your program, right? Even your master's or PhD, it's difficult to go, but I think it's difficult but not impossible to try to get some portion of your research somewhere else. And I keep telling this, and I told you that I was able to live in Ireland for 1 year as an undergrad, but that was a life change opportunity, and get to know a different culture, get to know how they grow food differently. It's amazing. Yep. So I think I will encourage. I mean, it doesn't have to be a whole semester, but try to be exposed to other things, and that you learn a lot from it. Yeah,
I totally agree. So my experiences abroad have totally changed my life, and hopefully also my personality. It was always a very great experience. And I mean, especially as a student, it's so easy to go abroad and just experience other education systems. I think there are a lot of funding opportunities out there for grad students, PhD students, basically for everyone. And I really encourage everyone to do their research and apply and go abroad. And also, good thing is that our education system back home is way cheaper than your guys' in the US. So it should be easy enough to go, and I hope it's a great experience for everyone.
Well, thank you very much, Anika, and we'll see you next time.
It was great. Thank you so much. That was fun.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you. We'll see you soon. We'll continue the RMC series here during the 77th RMC.